got us flying so high. Nobody really knows where they're going, but as long as we are here, we are right. Free from all the pain, from all the sorrow, free from all the rain, 'cause there will be tomorrow. Nobody really knows where we're going, but as long as we're here, we gon' be loving this moment. Everybody's stuck in the moment. This feeling's got us flying so high. Nobody really knows where they're going, but as long as we are here, we are right. Free from all the pain, from all the sorrow, free from all the rain, 'cause there will be tomorrow. Nobody really knows where we're going, but as long as we're here, we're gonna be loving this moment.
Branzach. Hello, sorry, we're at Branzach for 1978 half distance replica event. We won't bother with the intros, we'll just go straight to that screen there that you can see. Because I've been driving around enjoying myself for a bit too long, when I should have started the stream. Right, time to do. We've got slicks and hards, and we've got to do 38 laps first, so. Ooh, so you could zero stop it, look, we can take the fuel. So what's thoughts on stopping then? So people say the slicks, they don't think they're going to last?
I plan to refuel and do 2 hards, I think.
Oh, 2 hards, oh right, I was thinking refuel and 2 slops, or 2 slops? 1 stop rather, and refuel, and take slicks, or a soft, or maybe zero stop it in hards, but I'm just not getting the time.
I'll have to see how the softs are on the qualifying, because they seem to be always wrong in practice. The wear's always different to how it actually is in the qualifying in the race. But at the minute, if the deg stays up like this in quali, then I'm gonna have to take 2 sets of hards.
Right. Once again, we've got open mic tonight, so if you get background noise and all the rest of it, my apologies. Not to bash the mic around too much. Right, we're getting 4.1 litres a lap at the moment, and it's going to be fixed off 41 laps. Sorry, 38 laps, what am I talking about? 4.11 a lap, 38 laps means 156 litres. So we do a stop. So if we divide that by 2, that is 78 litres. Let's see what 78 litres does to us. 78 litres, take all that damage repair off. And if we add tyres, it gets longer. So info for those thinking about stopping. So tyres are done at the same time as fuel. The biggest factor affecting your pit stop length is fuel. Fuel appears to be slow. A half tank of fuel takes 30 seconds.
That's why I'm taking 75% tank. And then the tyres should be the slower one.
Yeah.
I only refuel 25%.
I think we might try and zero stop it, to be honest. Anyway, because 30 seconds on the pits is a long time. So 38 laps. We need about 160 litres. To soften that a little bit. Quite a twisty track, so I think the front wing of 3, I don't think straight is going to does it for us here. Let's do, so if it was 2 and 6 and it's 3 times, so if we do 3 it should be 9 I guess. So we'll do 3 and 8. Oh well, let's go check our tyres. Tex hasn't come back on, so I hope that we haven't lost him completely. I think he went AFK, that's why.
Yeah, he usually AFKs through practice and quali.
Oh right, I'll message him. Oh, what are we doing? Go on, Jim. Let the tyres on. Put them focus. Hardly doing any laps. So we've got a choice of slicks or hards. So I think we're going to go out with slicks and see what it's like. If we change it to automatic, what does it give us? It still gives us. We'll go out with slicks. They felt all right to me. Somebody else was saying when they go off the toe, or they wear quickly, but I wasn't getting that. Maybe they were locking up a lot. Let's increase our brake pressure a little bit as well. And go turn some more laps.
Are all the times on the timing board quali sims, or am I just really slow at race?
Say that again, Jake.
All the times on the timing board from quali sim, or is anybody like, or am I just like really slow for the race?
On just race timing info, or?
No, in the game.
Oh, in game. I see what you're saying. Sorry. No, I mean I just went out with default setup, and whatever that fuel is, I've only just started tweaking the setup now. It was on slicks though. So
maybe the hards are really bad.
Oh, you on hards, Jake?
I was, but
yeah, you were slow as hell.
Yeah,
I don't think they're a good idea.
Oh, I don't know what to do. The hards last like 4 times as long though.
Yeah, I've been struggling to think about what to do, but I reckon I'm just going to use the softs and just swap them out as I have to be honest. Although pit stops are pretty slow in these.
Yeah, they're really slow.
Yeah, H pattern shifting. Got a load of fuel on board now, and we've changed the setup. So I'm not expecting to be quicker. We're running a lot of fuel and a much higher downforce. Feels a lot grippier.
About to beat my hard time on an outback, so maybe they are really fast.
Probably way too much to see. Oh, Tex has responded. He's going to be on at some point. Oh, he's on. You want the invoice, Tex? Invoice on the server. That's all. But he's on. Are we all good to go and have a little pause before the race?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it going.
Good luck, everybody. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we do. Let's go in qualifying. Oh. Pull it. We're near an apex. Point 2 down on my absolute best. Point 2 up now. An apex this time. Half a second. No, but we balls that. boss goes on an outlap, he might not know I'm here. Just back it off. Oh, we've been there after all. Good lap. One corner not great. Still. I think we're going to half attack it. I think it, looking at the tyre wear there. Going faster. Easy. So yeah, looking at that tyre wear there. Oh, I'm doing hardcore whether to think in pit or not. So in order to minimise the pit stop, we need about none on that. Yeah, Yeah. 50 litres. 45 litres. And what are we getting per that? 4.13. Do we have a formation like that? No, we don't. It's 156 on a 45, so we're going to go out with 112. $13. You know, I think in the race will be a lot lower highway, so I'm thinking soft and one stop it, and zero stop it rather. Well done, Ernst. Very at the top there between the close yourself and text. Oh, Ernst is in voice and neither is text. But anyway, well done, Ernst. Should we go 28? That's 2 minutes 29. Just say if you cut 28 if you're going AFK.
Yeah, be back in a sec.
How many laps is this?
Fixed at 38, no formation. I just don't know what to do about the old pit stop, because often tyre wear is not as high in the race as it is in practice in quali. But you kind of have to go out with half a tank to make the most of a stop. You got to commit to half a tank of fuel, because I think a tank is about a second to a full second and a half slower a lap. So you kind of got, what have we got? About 18 laps worth of you're going to save a second and a half. So there's 18 seconds saved pit stop. At the end, you're going to have the same fuel but nice fresh tyres. So no stopping and not locking your brakes, so you can sort of keep the tyres, might be an option. Or the advantage of a low fuel one could be good as well. I think I'm going to gamble on stop just to keep it the pit site, which might, if those that aren't stopping, will get maybe left behind at the start, and those that are stopping are going to have to find about 40 seconds to pull it back. Don't all give your strategy away though, guys. Keep it yourself. Alright, Tinez, Jimble Jamble. It's the Tinez and the Jimble Jamble crew. Cheers, mate, for tuning in. How's the audio tonight? Is it alright? I'm talking to the guys on Discord about their strategy. They'll keep keeping it super secret. Jakey baby, are you back?
Yes, man.
Lovely stuff. Was it you that said you were going? I don't think anybody else did. I'll take that as a yes. Good luck, everybody. Then easy lap one. It's only 8 of us on the server, so nice and steady. And yeah, enjoy it. See if we can survive 38 laps. The pit stop or not to pit stop could be an interesting strategy. And let's see what happens. I think we're going to commit to a pit stop. So that's 113 litres. Is that what's qualified? Or we just... Or do we put that back in? I don't know. 113 litres, and then we're going to take 45 in the stop. In fact, I think we're going to sacrifice it. We're going to commit to optimum fuel strategy. We're going to have a longer stop. We're going to take 85 at the start, 160 minus 85, and 75 in the stop. That's what we're going to do. Going to mean we'll have a longer stop, but it is what it is. That's what we're committing to. Let's see what happens. If your H pattern, make sure you take it out of gear, so shifting, you don't get a jump start or anything like that. I think I'm going to survive, Mr. Tinez. Oh yeah, and drop back massively there. Old brakes, couldn't slow down. To be out the front with our load. Fuel load. Track is not as grippy as it was. Oh, Artie just stopped in front of me there, very lucky not to get punted off. It wasn't Artie, sorry. Pavel. I suspect tax is zero stopping, and so we're getting held up. Unlucky Pavel to get near, to lose the position whilst avoiding.
Once a lot. Something happened to Bad Oscar there.
Oh, Quato, man.
And shot.
Oh, the repair takes a long time.
Oh, lovely battle, Jake.
Not over yet. What about you? My tyres are ruined.
Maybe worse, I have no second gear.
Find a way past Jake at the moment. Not making any mistakes really. Did say his tyres were ruined, mine are okay. It's the grass. Closing in on it. Astek's pitted.
My gearbox is kaput.
Lucky mount.
Oh no, that's unlucky.
I use the auto clutch, I guess.
Hovering 5 seconds to Ernst ahead. Thank you, Pavel. Oh, misshifted into first at turn 1. And that's my race over.
Over?
Well, massive damage because I spun out.
Oh Shoot.
Trying to limp round. I'm on the outside of the corner. I'm not on the track, I'm on the gravel. Try and keep out of everybody's way, see if I can limp round. At the hairpin, anybody coming up to the hairpin? I'll stay tight all the way through.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, sorry man, you caught me. Not the ideal place. Ah, gutted. We're having a really good race. We're catching up to Ernst. Annoying that you can't move the HOD that allows you to choose your pit stop and stuff, because to me on a super wide screen, really hard to look at and drive forward because it's in completely the wrong place basically. Anyway, that was a shame. We were having a really good race. I think we could have had a, depending on whether Ernst is pitting or not, we could have had a right back with Ernst, but by the time we got all our damage repaired, we are good. Darn it. Missed shift into first, turn one, obviously locked the rears, lucky not to blow the engine. We've got 19 engine damage, so hopefully that's going to survive. How long is my mechanical repairs going to take? And they've started. Oh, look at that. They are slow. It's going to be about 2 minutes of repairs. Damn it. Damn it, that's a shame. I was really enjoying that race. 20 laps to go. We were in a good place. But look, we're not even at halfway on repairs yet. We've been in the pit for a minute now. Another minute of repairs to go, I would think. Maybe 40 seconds if we're lucky. Absorb 2 minutes of repairs. The dangers of H pattern shifting, darn it. Let's see what we can call back then. And we're going to be even massively down from Quarto. Where's Quarto? Look, he's quite a way ahead. 1 minute 40. Come on, let's get going. Come on, come on, come on. Move. Come on. Can we catch up to Quarto? That's a big ask. Repeated for repairs already, I think. Do I have the pit limiter on? Nope. Not anymore. So I haven't pitted yet, so you might well have been on a zero stop strategy. spotter doesn't make a mistake, I won't be able to sneak back to third place. Fastest lap will do. Cheers, Pavel. Thank you. slow on that lap, massively off pace, 1.7 down look. I think we're going to be able to catch Quarto. We are definitely closing the gap, but the gap is just too big. Damn it, would have been a really interesting race had we just not binned it with a missed shift to the third. We went first at turn 1. Lucky not to blow the engine, spun out, hit the wall, damage. If we'd have avoided the we'd have been probably maybe in with a chance, at least a fun battle. But with the damage, we had to limp around the laps, cost us a lot of time, and then repairs took well over a minute on top of the fuel and tyres that I had to take him. And the only godsend was I was due for a pit stop anyway, so least we picked one after twice. Once for the repairs and once for the tyres and fuel. We got to take it all at once. They shifted the second there, which we just caught. Oh, it's damaged our engine, maybe. Gone to orange. Will we make it the remaining laps without destroying the engine? Five laps to go. it then. There's the race. We had a nice battle with Ernst Van Gogh, but we binned it halfway through the race on turn 1. We're just getting into the groove, really enjoying it at the time, thinking, yeah, we've got some pace here. But wasn't to be. But well done, Ernst. Good win. Shame I binned it. I think we might have had a battle there. I didn't realise you pitted, Ernst. I thought you had. I didn't think he pitted, but he said he did.
I did 2, and I don't think
I saw you multi-stop.
Man, that damage takes forever to repair, Jim?
Yeah, it does take a while, man. Yeah, I was sat there going, "Oh, the damage bar's not clean up yet. Let's see what it's got." I had suspension and aero. Just like, yeah, I'll sit here another 1 minute full over. So yeah, well done, Quarto. Though you weren't in the clearly the Lotus was a quick car, and you weren't in a quick car. So a bit of consistency after your early spin off, brought it home for a podium. So well done, Quarto.
Oh, I put my nose in where. Well, not where I shouldn't, but like, I just outbraked myself and then went off the track, and then I did a rush actually when I was coming back on, and that's why I got damage. But then I just absolutely sent it from there, so it was good fun.
Yeah, I quite liked them. I think I'm quite glad we got rid of the far. I don't know, looking at the lap times there. Quarto, man, you got a 1:17.6, so you got the fastest lap. So that Brabham BT49 slow.
I was, I think the Brabham might be pretty quick, but I was given it absolutely quali laps every time after that crash.
Nailing it. Yeah. I enjoyed one of those as a season, but I mean, we haven't had a massive turnout, so but it is the summer. It's always really hard to gauge. But we'll put it to the vote. Oh, sorry, go on, Jake.
Messed up my strategy in that one.
The tyre's just not lasting for you.
Well, when I pit, they were at 60%, so like they were nearly fully blacked out. As in like 60% real measurement, not 60% AMS tyre show case.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that was at like lap 13, and I planned to pit at lap 13, and I was like, honestly, I don't know how you were going so fast on softs like that, because they were just burning for me. Like, they were not hot, but like just burning away. And,
mine had a cliff, eh? So like I got through like 18 laps and I was still able to get close to my quickest pace on them. But then like 2 laps later, it was like a cliff.
Yeah. Well, I accidentally, because I did 2 pits, I forgot to change the pit strat. So I
took loads of fuel
again.
Oh man!
I just
so you definitely were getting to the end.
In the menu beforehand, that you could set up a multi-pit strat instead of just like 1 pit stop. So you could automatically say for the next pit, don't add any fuel.
Yes, stop 1, stop 2. Yeah.
When you see it in the menu and it's like pit strat, you think you're planning all like on the F1 games when you do your pit strat at the start of a race, you plan every pit.
Yeah, I did that. I started with 1/3 of a tank and then just added 1/3 each pit stop. I planned for 2.
Oh, I planned for 1, but with a 50-50 split on fuel, pretty much I was committed to a longer stop. I just felt that high fuel was really slow, or higher fuel was really slow. But something I really struggled with when I was trying to drive around with a damaged car that wouldn't go straight and keep out way at people was you can't move that HUD element, can you? You can't move it to a decent part of the screen. And so on a very ultra wide screen, it's way off to the left. And because I've got a head as well, head track is kind of like it's really disorientated to try and look at it to click through and change things. At least I don't think you can move the location of that, can you?
I think that's why I had good pace, because I was running like as low fuel as possible every stint.
Yeah. I definitely think low fuel was quick.
I started with 75% and added 25, and then didn't want to add any more.
Yeah.
Jim, it was definitely helping you being on the lower fuel than me at the start. You were all over me.
Yeah, on the early stint. Well, just when you said your tyres were shot off, my tyres are okay. I think the big AMSU definitely has, not a thing, but if you are close to that lock-up point but not actually locking up, I think that really affects your tyre wear. Because I'm H shifting, H pattern, I don't know whether you guys are or not, but that tends to mean that I'm quite gentle on the brakes, so I'm nowhere near that. I don't even really get that little squeal in the braking that you're close to the locking up point. And I think if you are good on the brakes, which on most cars that would be ideal, but I think on cars where the tyres wear quite quickly, that's what eats your tyres, is the braking.
Just posted my tyre wear in the paddock chat, and so like they were pretty. That was lap 13, so I saw that and I was like, I've just got a pit.
Mine looked like that at like lap 20,
yeah,
but
man.
I had pitted kind of early for that damage as well, so I probably did a few more laps than that, but they looked pretty similar.
What the hell was I doing wrong? Just driving like crazy.
I think my gut feeling is if you can be gentle on the brakes, that's where the wear comes from. It's not really from the going through corners hard or anything. It's from maximising the braking zone. But that's great for qualifying for a race, but not for. But anyway, cheers guys. As a well done, Jake, for P2 quality work, sir. Quarto, nice and consistent after your early incident, brings you home a podium. I was thinking, maybe I can catch Quarto, because isn't he in one of those rubbish cars? But clearly you weren't in a rubbish car, man. And you had the pace. So, well
I feel like maybe the Brabham's like really good, because I shouldn't have been as quick as that Ernst guy. I'm pretty sure I raced him before and he was quite a bit quicker than me, but I was on his pace or quicker.
I don't know when he pitted, but after he pitted, I felt like really late, because I was closing in and thinking, I'm thinking, like you, why am I able to keep up with him? In fact, I was closing in him. I was coming up to a pit stop thinking, if I'm quick, the pit stop will be perfect. I'll just start to catch up and then be slowed down because I can't get past him, and I'll dive into the pits. So I kind of thought, oh, he's not pitting. He's zero stopping is what I thought. That's what I thought he was trying to do.
He did the one stop, so he was probably looking after his tyres a lot more.
Yeah. Anyway, cheers guys. Thank you very much for the racing. Next 2 weeks I'm not around. Yeah, no worries. The next week's combo, I was just looking for random things to do. So it's the first ever Nordschleifer 24 hours of Nordschleifer was in 1970. BMW and the 2002 won it. So that's why I chose it's got a day-night cycle, but it's only 5 laps. Sign-ups is pretty low at the moment, so I have signed up, but I'm not there. So please put your name down there if you do think you fancy it, because it does help the grid grow, but that might be quite a small grid. And then in 2 weeks' time, again, I'm not around for that one either. We will be really nice combo actually, Ultimate GTI race at Silverstone International. Now you might think that's going to be a bit of a small track for a very powerful car. It works surprisingly well. I did it at Hockenheim, that car, and it was an awful lot of fun. A V8 go-kart. So get your names down for those two.
That sounds fun.
Right, cheers guys. So we'll be around for a couple of weeks, so I'll see you in, give or take, 3 weeks today.
Yeah, cheers, have a good one.
Yeah, nice vacation.
Bye all, bye. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'm really gutted about my first gear mess with that race. I think I had the pace. I was one stopping like Ernst. He was doing the quicker best lap, but I think I was able to look after my tyres better than most. As soon as I started to push, I did notice, as soon as I started to push, when I'm pushing perfectly into that hairpin, I'm getting not lock up, but I can hear that squeal. But, it's indicating you're getting close, but that squeal in the braking zone. When I did that, I noticed my tyres started to drop off a bit quicker. Whereas when I was just kind of being gentle, the lap times were very similar and the tyre wear wasn't. Anyway, as I say, a bit gutted that we ballsed it under there was a miss shift. On the downside is the H pattern shifting, especially with a very old G27 shifter Logitech. There's not a lot of feel to it. You literally just bang it in and hope you've got the right one. It's quite a lot for my aging brain to handle. So I just bang it in and hope.